Oh, we love when Charlie Stalker's here. We love Mondays. We have so much fun on camera and off. Hey, Debbie called, and she has a pin oak tree that has brown leaves at the end of it, and the limbs, and wants to know what is causing them to look like they're dying or to die.
Okay, Debbie, send me a picture on Hey Garden Guy Charlie Stalker on the Facebook page, and I can identify what that problem is. If you take 3 or 4 pictures, doesn't take you a second, post them, and I can tell you. But right now, if it's a small pin oak, it could be the flagging from the cicadas. I just need to see some pictures, and then I'll be more than happy to answer that question.
So how does a pin oak look different than other pin oak trees? Are they a regular oak?
They are also called a swamp oak.
Oh, really?
It's a swamp oak. We know it by another name, but it's Quercus palustris.
Of course it is.
Quercus palustris is the genus species, and it really, I don't recommend a pin oak. I don't recommend a pin oak because they get the midge-leaf gall, those ugly that are outgrowths, the wasp stings the tree branch, and it causes an aberrant growth, and that's how they lay their eggs, and it can really get out of hand.
It looks like a fungus almost.
They really don't kill the pin oak, but they just make it look unsightly and kind of reduce the vigor of the pin oak itself. You can treat it, but just don't plant a pin oak. Just don't plant a pin oak.
But they're out, I mean, they're in this area. They're naturally occurring in this area.
The native oak I would plant for this area is a chestnut oak. A chestnut oak. They're a little bit later to leaf out, but they are absolutely gorgeous. They don't have any known enemies, and they, listen to this, you're not going to believe this, but they provide and I've said this before, 571 species of caterpillars live over a period of 12 months in that species. 571 species in that chestnut oak, and in most oaks, that the birds rely on to raise their babies. So oak trees are absolutely the cat's meow.
That's really neat and exciting.
It is neat.
Yeah, and so an oak is Kentucky too, and Indiana. So yeah, grow them. Charlie says. Hey, Ann wants to know, after her strawberries have produced, do you cut the tops off the vines? What do you do with them?
You leave the tops on the vine, because then they are providing energy. Go back into the roots, and you take your runners and put them in the row as well. But you don't trim them back. Let them go.
Just let them be what they are?
Let them be.
Now, Charlie sent us a picture
You'll love this picture.
Of a very colorful insect.
You thought it was nice.
I thought it was.
You thought it was
a June bug. I thought it was a June bug.
She thought it was a beneficial insect.
There you go. There you go. Right there, Charlie.
Okay,
now, see?
Yeah.
Kind of peacock color.
It is. It's about a ½ inch long. 3/8 to a ½ inch, and that is the Japanese beetle. Now, I've had egg on my face when I was talking about the cicadas.
You do not.
Because I was making people think, man, I mean, they're coming in, it's going to be a horde of locusts.
Well, you were listening to the experts too, Charlie.
Yeah, but this is the Japanese beetle. It's not gotten here yet. That's the adult form. It lives about 40 days, and just very shortly it's going to be coming out of the ground as an adult, and voila, right away it's going to be looking for a mate. And once they mate, they will stick their ovipositor back into the ground and put eggs into the ground for next year that last about 10 months, and then they emerge again. The point is, when they come out of the soil, they are so hungry, and they attack. You can notice that they've been around by the sclerotinized leaf, the holes in the leaf. Now, you know everything about a Japanese beetle. How do you control it? Easiest way to control it is to pick them off. If there's not too many of them, pick them off. Another thing you can use is neem, N-E-E-M oil, and that's a good control, along with carbaryl or 7, liquid 7. Both of them work good. I recommend you pick them off if there's any way possible, and I just squeeze them. But people,
yes,
so just drop them in.
And look, Jana behind the camera just went, ew.
Drop
yes,
them in some
Jana.
liquid dish soap, just maybe a couple drops of liquid dish soap in a pan of water, and that will drown them.
And speaking of you, Brenda has a newly sprouted green bean plant, slugs all around them, eating holes in the leaves. What do you do to get rid of the slugs?
Cooper's slug and snail bait. Cooper's, it's an iron sulfate. And the iron sulfate is, some slug controls have sulfur in them. I've never found that to work. I do find iron sulfate to work very well.
And now, Larry, maple leaves falling off, why?
It could be the leaf twig girdler. Now is the time. The leaf twig girdler is out, and what they do is, it's just a little insect, and it will just girdle around the leaf obsession, and the leaf falls off. Now, what does that mean? It means that they're going through a maturation process. They will only do that for a short period of time, and the tree makes a whole lot more leaves for food than it really needs, believe it or not. Mother Nature has kind of done that. So I really wouldn't worry about that. If you need to spray the tree and it's manageable to spray the tree, use bifenthrin, and it works.
Bifenthrin works.